to the Wellbeing Shed. I'm going to get some movement into the body today, just with a variety of different moves. So I want you to come and start towards the end of your mat with space behind you, so make sure there's nothing there that you can fall into. We're going to come and bring feet on the floor, bending the knees. Starting with some half roll back. So we need to reach our arms out in front of you. We sit nice and tall through the spine, belly draws in. And we inhale, prepare. As we exhale, we're focused on tucking this tailbone under. So we tuck the tailbone, we roll back about halfway, or until we feel those abdominals kick in, and then we're going to roll all the way back up to the top. Using that breath. Option, if you want to, is to lengthen the legs straight away. We're feeling particularly strong today, and you want a little bit more of a challenge. Otherwise, we keep those knees bent. Rolling back, and then bringing it back up to the top. Keep drawing in through the belly. Might feel this in the hip flexors a little bit as well. So right at the front of the hip. Again, you might find that having the legs long is easier, so you can give that a go if you want to. And we're going to take one more. And then, next time you come up to the top, you're going to open the arms nice and wide and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So we take that half roll back. We come all the way up to the top. And open the arms wide. Squeeze the shoulder blades, bring them back in. Exhale to roll back. Big shoulder blade squeeze. Looks good. 4 to go. Use that out breath. And we're using that control. So what's bringing you back up is your abdominals. Not any momentum swinging from the arms. Last one. Lovely. Relax the arms, lengthen the legs. And we're just going to bring the hands on the floor for a little bit of support. From here, I just want you to flex and point through the toes, through the feet. We just give the legs a little bit of stretch here, getting them moving. So you might feel this down the backs of the legs. Think about pointing through the toes. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Come on up. We're going to reach the arms forward. We're going to come into some spine stretches. So spine is nice and long. We inhale, prepare, and as we exhale, we shift forwards. And then coming all the way back up seated. So weight shifts forward. We keep the sit bones on the floor, and the spine stays nice and long. So as we come forward, we don't want to round through the upper back and through the shoulders, sort of collapse into the chest. We want to keep that spine nice and long. Think about drawing those shoulders back, and then we just shift and tip from the hip. Looks lovely. Perfect. We're going to take 3 more. Just shifting that weight forwards. Lovely. Come and bring the arms down. We're going to come and lie on our back. Rolling all the way down, feet on the floor, bending the knees. And we're just going to take some hip bridges to stretch out the front of those hip flexors after those half roll backs. So arms relaxed down by the back down into the floor, and then lift the hips up into the air, taking a little glute squeeze at the top. So we should be on the shoulder girdle, we should be able to move the head from side to side without there being any discomfort. But if it does feel uncomfortable, you might just need to roll down very slightly onto the shoulder blades. And then we're going to bring it all the way back down. Gently pressing that lower back, lifting all the way up. Just keep it moving, rolling up onto the shoulder girdle, relaxing the shoulders down, stretching through the front of the hips, building a bit of strength into the backs of the legs, into the hamstrings, into the glutes. You can take your time with these. On your next one, we're going to come up to the top, we're going to hold here, and you're going to add on some heel lifts. So opposite heel, one at a time, we lift and lower, lift and lower. Keep the glutes squeezed so we keep the hips lifted. We don't want to drop down through the hips just because we're lifting the heels. Option if you wanted is to lift both heels at the same time and then place them back down. Wherever you are, glute squeeze, hips lifted for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels down, we're going to roll all the way back down. Relax at the bottom. Might just want to give your hips a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. We're going to roll back up into that hip bridge again. So gently press lower back, let's roll on up. We're going to lift the heels, we're going to stay lifted. So keep those heels lifted as you roll back down. Heels lift, and we roll back up. So really working the backs of the legs here. So we roll up and down through that bridge position. Staying up on those toes. We're going to take 4 more. Big glute squeeze. Really working the posterior chain. So all those muscles down the back of the body. 1 more. Lovely. Relax at the bottom. Lengthen both those legs away. And then you're going to hug your right knee in towards your chest. Drawing that knee in. Taking a little stretch through the hip flexor, through that lower back. Releasing that leg. Let's come on to the other side. Releasing the knee, come and bring the feet onto the floor. We're going to take the arms out wide and come into some hip rolls. So just drop those knees over to one side. We're going to pick them up, bring them through the centre and drop them over to the other side. So just taking this movement at your own pace. We want to make sure that our shoulders and our shoulder blades stay down on the mat. that stretch through the hips. I feel this through the lower back as well as you roll through the centre. Could be a nice stretch to do for the back of the body, but also into the inside of the hips. And we're just going to be here for a little bit longer. More and more each side. Lovely. Bringing the knees back up into the centre. And we're just going to come over onto one side so that we can push ourselves up to seated. So come on up. And we're going to bring our legs into this 90-degree position. So what we want is for this back hip, we're trying to get the sit bone down onto the floor. Now if you've got really tight hips, that might just not be possible for you. But I want you to think about trying to draw this hip down so your sit bone can be on the floor. So that's your focus for this move. Now I want you to just bring your hands in front of you, and then we're going to walk them round towards this back knee. Now you might not be able to go very far, but that's absolutely fine. The stretch intensifies probably in this back hip here. Then we're going to take our front arm, so probably your left arm, reach it up and over. So we come into a little side bend. Breathing into the stretch. Releasing down. Come on up. We're going to swap the legs over. So come and drop them over to the other side. Now think about this back hip. It might be that one side is a lot tighter than the other. So for me, I really struggle to get this hip down. But just do what you can here. Just be conscious about drawing down through that hip. I'm going to bring the hands out in front of us. Walk them round towards that back knee. Feel that stretch might be a little bit more intense. And then we lift that front arm up and over into our side bend position. Keep breathing into that stretch. And then we release. Come on up, unhook the legs. Now you want to come and sit in a position that feels comfortable for you. That might be legs crossed, or it might be coming up onto your knees. I'm going to turn to the side so it's a little bit easier for you to see. I'm going to be on my knees for this one. And we're going to take some seated back extensions. So we're going to bring fingertips to temples, elbows nice and wide. We inhale, prepare. As we exhale, we're going to take those elbows back, take eye gaze and chin up to the ceiling as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. We then restack the spine, we come back to our start position, that neutral position. And we go again, exhale, elbows back, eye gaze to ceiling, and restack. Inhale, prepare, and exhale to move. And it's just a movement through the upper back. So try and keep this lower part of the back still, avoiding getting a real arch into the lower back. Really nice to get the back moving. Also in a way that means we're not lying on our front. Sometimes that might be a little bit too intense for you, so this is a nice option. You can still really feel that movement. 2 more. Pull those elbows back. Last one. Lovely. When you come back up to the top, just relax those arms down. Clasp the hands in front of you. You're going to push away, drop the chin in towards the chest. So get that stretch into the upper back. And then we're going to unclasp the hands, take them all the way around to the back. Clasp, push, down and away. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. And release. Might just give your shoulders a little bit of a wiggle around, maybe your neck as well. Just to have a little bit of a release through there. And that's the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for another class soon. Bye.